The Royal Army is a fictional army in Far Cry 4. The Royal Army are Pagan Min's personal army stationed across southern Iraq. The Royal Army is made up of several classes of infantry, with varying equipment and specializations. Royal Army Assaulter. Assaulters are standard Royal Army members. They are ill-disciplined, relying on bravado, teamwork and constant gunfire to succeed. They are often found patrolling the roads of Iraq and performing tasks for Deplore and Nor. Royal Army Assaulters are not particularly dangerous, but their true strength is in numbers. Typically armed with AK-47s, they work in small squads. They use pistols while in vehicles. Royal Army Guard Assaulter. They can be identified by their red berets. They wield P416 assault rifles, allowing them better accuracy and damage compared to the AK-47 of Royal Army Assaulters, and ultimately keep the player pinned down in a certain location for a longer time. They also use D50 while on vehicles. They are slightly more durable, able to take one or two more shots than the Royal Army Assaulter. Their elite variant is the Royal Guard Assaulter Commander. Royal Army Assaulter Guard Commander. Almost identical to the regular Royal Guard Assaulters. However, they have more bright red lines on their pants, and a golden band on their left arms. They are armed with P416 and D50. They appear most commonly in the mission Valley of Death, where each artillery cannon will be guarded by a commander and his small squad. Several waves of them appear in the mission Ashes to Ashes, where they defended the Royal Fortress. Assaulter commanders are the leaders of their squads, typically chosen for their ability to rally and inspire other troops. Many of them have a taste for fighting, and have superior training to their squad. Royal Army commanders are important, high-ranking members. They possess better accuracy and training than assaulters, but have the same health. They are extremely rare, and only usually appear in an eye for an eye or assassinations, as well as some missions. They use weapons like the AK-47 and the 1911 pistol. Royal Army Beheader. Beheaders are sadistic and unstable psychopaths that use knives and kukris in battle. Many are heavy drug users, and are often found in southern Iraq. Most have a short life expectancy and want to kill as many enemies as possible before they die. Beheaders are rush troops that disregard using cover and any sort of armor in order for a clear attack to be made. Killed fairly easily, but can easily heavily wound or kill, especially if they catch the player off guard. This unit is unique to the Royal Army, and does not have an equivalent in the Royal Guard. Royal Cultist Beheader is a soldier within the Disciples wielding the kukri and use throwing knives in long range like Royal Army Charger. They act like their army counterparts, their only difference is their look. They have, like many others Disciples, a lot of glowing scars on their face, because of the elixir. They don't fight for Pagan Min's glory, but the glory of Yelang. They are like their Royal Guard counterparts, mostly seen along with Berserkers of the Disciples. They appear in the Valley of the Yetis DLC. Cultist Soldier Assaulter appears much like the Royal Army Assaulter, as they use his AK-47 and combat skills except for having different quotes and outfit. Cultist Soldier Berserker. Within the Disciples, they use M133 and have fast speed like Royal Army Berserker, except they have different quotes and outfit. Cultist Soldier Hunter. A soldier within the Disciples, they use hunter bow and kukri like Royal Army Hunter, except they have different quotes and outfit. Cultist Soldier Heavy Gunner is a soldier within the Disciples, they use PKM and have strong armor like Royal Army Heavy Gunner, despite with heavy armor, their helmets can still get knocked off. Royal Army Berserker. Berserkers are aggressive and violent attackers. They fight for honor and want to die as heroes. Many of them fight in Shinoth Arena, or practice their skills on wild animals. And they also use the M133 and 1911 as their weapon choice. Berserkers are short-range units that attempt to chase you down and do incredible damage at close range. Typically, they throw smoke grenades to block sight lines from snipers to prevent kills. If possible, take them out from range, as they are extremely fast and not to be underestimated in early to mid-game. Royal Army Defender. Defenders are more seasoned troopers, promoted because of their age and experience. Many dislike fighting, and hold more respect among the Royal Army. Defenders are more efficient troopers, known for their efficiency in battle. They are equipped with better gear and training than assaulters, but are still easily killed. They are vulnerable to headshots despite their helmets. They also use AK-47 and 1911 pistols and their main weapon choice. Royal Army Defender Lieutenant. Lieutenants are in charge of commanding groups of soldiers and are the point of contact for many civilians. They often have shares in brothels run by NOR, or aspire to join the Royal Guard. Lieutenants are cautious and smart fighters, but are not invincible. They only appear in calmer events Longinus missions I for an eye assassination. Army RPG Shooter. RPGs are reckless individuals who use RPGs in combat. Many dislike the assignment because the warheads sometimes explode without warning. RPGs are mid-range fighters that attempt to line up their RPG with players. They are devastating, but are slow to line up their shots. They may look like defenders, but have the same health as assaulters. They also use RPG-7 and A2000 as their main weapons. Royal Army Heavy Gunner. Gunners are the walking tanks of the Royal Army. Many have previous firearms experience and are in charge of providing recruits with basic training. Many have extreme superiority complexes, causing risky decision-making. Heavily armored, they use constant gunfire to overwhelm opponents. Their helmets, when knocked off, allow for the instant kill. If heavy beatdown is unlocked, they can be taken down. They are extremely slow, so running away is not a bad idea if needed. Their main weapon choice is the PKM. Royal Army Heavy Gunner Commander. Is a commander variant of the regular Royal Army Heavy Gunnery. They can be recognized by their red helmet, which can be shot off and expose their heads to headshot, just like the helmets of Royal Army Heavy Gunner. They're just as strong as the regular heavy gunners of Royal Army. 1 to 3 can be found at Nor's Fortress, as well as during an eye for an eye quest. They are only active in southern Eret. In the north, their role is fulfilled by the much stronger Royal Guard Heavy Gunner Commander, Cuff.
Royal Army Hunter. Hunters are nomadic units that are trained in wilderness fighting. They coordinate almost exclusively with other hunters, and shun civilization in general. Royal Army members trained in wilderness combat that are common in the wilderness of southern Kirit. They use bows and arrows/fire arrows, kukris at close range, and can charm predators into fighting for them. It can only be tagged for a short time using the camera. They use bird chirps to communicate, making it much harder to pin down their location. They can see you through foliage, so be careful. However, they cannot see through buildings, useful for outposts. Despite their abilities, they are glass cannons, very weak and wear little armor, allowing for quick kills if undetected. Royal Army Molotov Thrower. Throwers are erratic and unreliable fighters who use Molotovs in combat. Many are drug users or drunkards, and usually end up setting their allies on fire. Molotov throwers are throwers who use Molotovs to flush players out. Army Sniper. Snipers are the Royal Army lookouts and support fighters. Many are picked due to their good eyesight and reflexes, and many moonlight as hunters for the Army. Army Sniper Courier. Sniper couriers are commanders, used to ferry messages between the generals and the outposts. Many consider it to be a much better assignment. Standard snipers with different uniforms that hold critical intel documents only appear as part of Karma events. Royal Army Guard Snow Trooper. Royal Guard snow troops are troopers trained in snow warfare. Most consider it to be a punishment detail and one-up each other to try and get out of it. Most can be told apart by their weapons. Officers have red and gold emblazoned parkas instead of the standard snow versions. The Royal Guard is an elite branch within the Royal Army. Compared to the Royal Army, they are much better trained, have superior armor, better weaponry, and vehicles. They are more vicious than their normal counterparts. Royal Guard Charger. Enemies wield the BZ-19 submachine gun, allowing them to fight from a greater distance than Royal Army Berserkers. They are still just as aggressive though, and will charge the player without seeking cover. Like Army Berserkers, they should be taken out before they can reach close range. A Charger can dodge some gunfire by rolling and will rush the player by throwing a smoke grenade to hide his movements. They also use D50 while on vehicles. Unlike the Berserkers, they are very common, nearly as much so as Royal Guard Assaulters and Royal Guard Defenders, especially in outposts and fortresses, after the player has chosen to allow for the alarm to be raised. Rather than do one big hit of massive damage, they instead quickly chip away at the player's health. Royal Guard Defender. These are the toughest non-heavy units in the game in terms of durability, able to take around 8 to 10 shots from an assault rifle. Headshots still kill them in one hit, however, meaning that they are the best way to dispatch these tough units. Like the Royal Guard Assaulter, they use the P416, allowing them greater accuracy and firepower than the Army counterparts who use AK-47. They also use D-50 while on vehicles. The Royal Guard Defenders are more powerful than the Royal Army Defenders. They still need a normal takedown. However, the Guard Defenders won't die if you throw a knife after them. A well-placed knife thrown in his head will kill him. Their elite variant is the Royal Guard Defender Lieutenant, Royal Guard Heavy Flamer. Heavily armored units wielding flamethrowers. They are incredibly dangerous at close range, setting the player and everything around them on fire. They are still vulnerable to headshots, however. Shooting them enough times in the head will cause them to lean over in pain, allowing you to easily finish them off with a continued barrage. They also have another key weak spot, however, in the tank on their backs. Shooting the tank will cause it to detonate, killing the flamer and setting everything around the explosion on fire. Like the heavy gunners, they are slow, and the player can sneak behind them and shoot the tank or kill them with a knife. They are arguably the most dangerous enemy in the game, though only out to around 50 meters or so, as anything further away, it will be completely unable to come even close to. Unlike Privateer Heavy Flamer, the variant from the previous game, this one suit actually functions properly, and will protect them from fire, making them outright immune to fire damage. Although their tanks will slowly be damaged by fire, one arrow through their mask's face area can take them outright immune to fire damage. The elite variant, Royal Guard Heavy Flamer Commander, has exact same stats, only wears different uniform. Royal Guard Heavy Gunner, the most powerful enemy in Far Cry 4. They wield a PKM, which deals a tremendous amount of damage. They are extremely durable and able to soak up several magazines of assault rifle rounds before collapsing. There are several ways to take them out, however. Setting them on fire will deal a large amount of damage to them, meaning that any fire-based weapon is effective. Maintaining a distance and shooting them with a sniper rifle is also effective, although being hit with LMG fire can throw off your aim. A daring but effective method of taking them out is to pull out an LMG, get into close range, and unload on their heads. If you have a rocket launcher or a grenade launcher, preferably the GLA-87, you can kill them with a couple of grenade launcher rounds or rockets. As with regular heavy gunners, the heavy takedown skill can allow you to kill them with a takedown. Their elite variant is Royal Guard Heavy Gunner Commander, Royal Guard RPG Shooter. They are more durable than regular Royal Army RPG shooters, but are overall not much different. Eliminate at long range, kill them with a knife, or fight them with an explosive weapon of your own. They are armed with RPG-7 and work much like Royal Guard snipers. They switch to the A2000 in close range combat. They also use A2000 while in vehicles. Fun fact, they have all their original teeth replaced with golden teeth. Royal Guard Sniper. Their sniper rifles deal higher damage and fire quicker than regular snipers, making them highly dangerous. Like regular snipers, going into close range with them will force them to switch to A2000. Use the same tactics to deal with them as regular snipers, but know that there is less room for error. While on vehicles, they can perform drive-by shooting using their A2000, which is more dangerous than 1911 and D50 from other types of soldiers. They only open fire when their red laser light reach the target, so remember always avoiding their red laser light in order to survive. Curiously, they shoot faster, but their weapons are bolt-action rifles and have a much lower rate of fire in-game than the SVD used by the Royal Army Sniper. Although this could be due to their far superior training allowing for faster target acquisition. Royal Guard Hunter is a type of enemy in Far Cry 4. They have some armor unlike regular hunters, making them somewhat tougher to kill. They use recurve bows and are more accurate than the Royal Army Hunters. Like Royal Army Hunters, they also use whistles to communicate and can also charm animals, and also use cookery for close-range combat. They appear to be more heavily armored, and better equipped, sporting a high-tech bow, body armor, and military apparel. They also seem to coordinate much better with other allies than the Royal Army ones do. However, they are much rarer than the Royal Army variant, as they can only be found at one or two of the northern outposts such as the Kea logging camp, and only on a handful of missions, making the only reliable way of finding them through certain karma events or random encounters. Nur Najjar, host of Shanath Arena Vice Lord, Arena Master Nur is one of 3 generals for Pagan Min. She supervises the making of Poppy into heroin and runs the Shanath Arena. Paul Harmon, occupations General of the Army, Chief Interrogator Governor of the Lowlands region. Deplore was given control of the Lowlands region of Carrot and makes his fortune running guns, selling tea and cultivating other illegal crops. Yumalau, occupations General of the Royal Guard, second in command of the Triad Empire, Warden of Duragesh Prison. Yumalau is the secondary antagonist of Far Cry 4. Pagan Min's the leader of the Royal Army and the highest-ranking member in the Royal Army. Pagan is the autocratic self-proclaimed king of the Kingdom of Kirit, and the dragon head of the Triad Empire.
Should I stay or should I go now?